Today, Thomas, James, and Henry are being repainted, but there's a problem. The labels have come off the cans of paint. No one knows which color paint is in which can. Is the paint in the first can the right color for Thomas? Let's see. It's red. Is that the right color for Thomas? No, Thomas isn't red. What about the second can? Blue. That looks better. Thomas is blue. Who's next? James. James is red. Can you remember which can the red paint was in? Was it this can? No, that's not right. The third can is full of green paint. What about trying the first can again? Red. That's right. The first can is full of red paint. There's one more engine to be repainted. Henry. Henry is green. Can you remember which can the green paint was in? Was it this can? Yes. The green paint is in the third can. Now, Henry, James, and Thomas are all the right color. And how smart they look, too. Well done. The island of Sodor is a wonderful place. There are lots and lots of engines. Who's that puffing along the track? It's James. James is a bright red engine. He has the number 5 painted on his tender. A bright brass dome and 6 strong driving wheels that clickety-clack along the tracks of Sodor. James is the only red engine, and he is very proud of his red coat. One day, James had a bright new coat of red paint. He wanted all the other engines to tell him how wonderful he looked. The next morning, Sir Topham Hatt told James to help Percy at the coaling plant. But James went to gaze at his reflection in the canal. At last, James arrived. The yard manager told him to take an extra long line of freight cars to Brendam Docks. James was very happy. There were a lot of people at the docks to tell him how splendid he looked. But the freight cars were very troublesome. They wriggled and giggled. They biffed and they bashed and covered James in coal dust. When James arrived at Brendam, his bright red coat was very dirty. Luckily, James is never too proud to see the funny side. But his pride can get him into a lot of trouble. There was to be a new holiday poster for the island of Sodor. Sir Topham Hatt chose Edward to be the poster engine. James was upset. He and Edward were almost the same. James decided to do everything he could to be the poster engine. He tried to get into the poster photograph, but Sir Topham Hatt sent him away. Thomas and Percy told James that Edward was chosen because he was gentle. And Edward didn't mind doing dirty jobs. So James was gentle at the coaling yard. But that made him late. James took the express track to race Edward. He was just in front when a signal turned red. James screeched to a halt. But Edward couldn't stop in time. Edward ran into James. and James shot straight through the poster. Now James was the poster engine. James knows when he has gone too far. And then he helps his friends. That's because James is a really useful red engine, and he shines most of all when he is with his friends. Gordon, James, and Thomas are all at the repair yard. Each engine has a different problem. Can you guess what will make them feel better? There's some coal, some water, and some oil. Gordon is making a funny noise. His wheels are squeaking. Do you think some coal will make him feel better? No. Coal won't stop Gordon's wheels squeaking. It will make them dirty. What about water? Will that stop Gordon's wheels squeaking? No. Water won't stop Gordon's wheels squeaking. It will make them rusty. What about some oil? Yes. Oil has made Gordon's wheels stop squeaking. He feels much better. Now look at James. His face is as red as his body. James is very hot. Do you think some coal might make him feel better? No. Coal won't make James feel better. It will make him feel even hotter. What about some water? Yes, water has stopped James overheating. He feels much better. Now look at Thomas. Thomas is puffing very slowly. His boiler isn't hot enough to make steam. Do you think some coal will help Thomas feel better? Yes, coal has heated up Thomas's boiler. Now he can make steam. He feels much better. Now, Gordon, James, and Thomas are all feeling much better. Well done, everyone.